final leg in Hawaii is a full marathon, 42.2 kilometres, the majority of which goes through the lava field, so it's pretty open, pretty exposed to the elements. It's an undulating course, it's not a flat course. In an Ironman, you're getting off the bike at lunchtime, so in the heat of the day, and you've already been on the go for 5.5 hours. You know, that race is notorious for throwing up brutal conditions, and I mean, you experience the full brunt of that in the marathon in Hawaii. I'm always sizing up the opposition, looking at them to see how much they're sweating, whether they're covered in salt, how their form looks. You know, form's a great indicator. Technique is the cornerstone of all great, endurance athletic performance, and when someone's technique starts to drop away, I think that's a good indicator that they're starting to struggle a little bit. I think running, like the other two disciplines, you want to keep it interesting. That's why I like to run in great locations. And you do need to mix it up. You can't just apply the same stimulus and expect to get great results. You need to work a little bit on endurance, so you need to do a long run. I like to run in the hills as much as possible to develop the strength. And this morning's run along the track was just a light aerobic run, is what I call it. It's for recovery, but you're still logging miles, so you're building aerobic endurance. A little bit different to, say, getting in the sand dunes or doing hill repeats, where it's more of a cardiovascular high heart rate response and you're building strength. Every aspect of the training has its place. You just can't go hard every single day. You need to, structure the training so that everything complements everything else. It's good mental practice just to visualise racing while you're training, picturing different scenarios at different races. Particularly if you're on a long run, for instance, you don't want to be clock watching and watching the seconds while away. You really just want to think about the things you need to think about, like hydrating and fueling. You really need to race to your own strengths and your own race plan, which will prevent coming up short or hitting the wall with a long way to go. I think the A1 scenario is to have that feeling, within sight of the finish. So, and that's if you blow or if you hit the wall, as they say, very close to the finish, then I think you've timed it right.